Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Kujan, and I run our adult faith formation here at St. Ambrose alongside Tommy Smoglu and Bob Martino. And this year, we're kicking things off right in the theme of our centennial year. Who is St. Ambrose? We are proud members of this community of St. Ambrose, but who was our namesake, our patron, and what can we learn from this guy? He was a bishop, but that was quite a surprise for him. As a little baby, he was blessed in that when a swarm of bees came upon his face, all that was left on him, not a bee sting, but a drop of honey on his tongue, which foretold his beautiful speech that he would, in many times in his life, give great orations, speeches, homilies as a priest and bishop of the church. And it's amazing how God blessed him at such an important time in the church's history when the Roman Empire was on the outs, but in all of the chaos that involved, Ambrose was a rock, somebody who really kept his community together when chaos was going on. He was certainly aware of his skills as a speaker, and he went to study law and literature and rhetoric so that he could be a great public speaker. And he did take a political career as a prefect consular in the city of Milan, where it was basically the new capital of the Roman Empire after the emperors had moved there. So he was really in a really good spot to do good work as a politician. And just after a couple years in that role, he was called by God. There was chaos when the Bishop of Milan died, who had been follower of a heresy called Arianism, and this guy, Ambrose, is appointed to be the next bishop. Why is that a surprise? Well, he was acclaimed to be elected by the crowd, but this guy had not even been baptized yet. He lived in a Christian family, but many people back then delayed their baptism towards the very end so they didn't sin after baptizing. They didn't realize you could go to confession to get that healed anytime afterwards. So Ambrose had delayed his baptism, but all of a sudden he is now thrust into the role of a bishop of the church. So he's baptized and confirmed and receives first Eucharist and then becomes a bishop of the church. What a story. And what did he do with that role as bishop? He certainly maintained the peace in that region of the world where there was a lot of chaos about whether Jesus was fully God or not. There were some people who doubted that he really could be God and then God the Father be God as well. So that issue was really taking hold of the church in the West after it had really been a problem in the East in the church. So Ambrose, he had been a very wealthy man. His father had been a politician too, so he gave his wealth to the poor when he became a bishop. And that is a great sign of his love, generosity as a benefactor. St. Ambrose, as a man of the church, gave all of his time for his community. He was so busy. He didn't have time to sit and write poetry and read any book he wanted. He did this research he had to for the community, and he produced for them in a way that no one else could. He really gave of himself so much that he died at the age of 57, probably from health complications from being so self-giving to his community. And he was such a beloved figure in Milan and such a great public speaker. He inspired one of the greatest saints of our church, St. Augustine, to become a Catholic as well. He stood up to the Roman Emperor Theodosius himself when he did something horribly criminal, slaughtering a whole group of people for not doing much wrong. He was a man who was willing to stand up for the truth, to deliver for his community, to see who was really in need and to care for them. He was truly a man of integrity and someone we look up to as members of St. Ambrose Parish. We can note that he is a great example for all of us as we try to live on his legacy. So we are in our mini-series this coming Sunday on October 13th, going to look at this man in more depth, look at what he wrote, what he taught, and how we can be a person like St. Ambrose today. So please join us in our chapel between our 9 and 11 a.m. Masses here at St. Ambrose.